late Saturday night trade for Matthew Stafford? On the first Sunday I'm supposed to have off? Thanks for nothing, NFL. But here we are. Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon. It looks like Sean McVay finally beat Goff. Perna. Never did I think we'd see Sean McVay beat Goff in front of all of us. But after 2020, nothing surprises me. Jared Goff was shipped to Detroit with a few first-round draft picks in exchange for quarterback Matthew Stafford. Jared Goff, he's been to the Super Bowl. He just won a playoff game with a surgically repaired thumb. So fresh, you could still smell the chlorhexidine antiseptic on it. That was a gritty performance by Goff, but Stafford is tougher. He would have performed that surgery himself on the field. Now, Stafford has never even won a playoff game, and yet nobody outside the immediate Goff family will tell you he's better than Stafford. A little something to consider for those who only attach postseason wins to real QB talent. Today, I want to talk about this move, what the Lions might do with Goff, why it's great for the Rams, even though they won't make a pick in the first round of the NFL draft until my 5-month-old daughter is old enough to post her first bail bond for daddy. Whew. That's good, sports. Hey. If you want NFL news delivered to you about 12 hours slower than Microphone or Tom Grossi, subscribe to this YouTube channel. I promise, I got more dick jokes than both of those guys. Today's episode is sponsored by manscaped.com/goodsports. And they are very excited, as am I, to help you whack off your nose and ear hairs with the new Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer. Long nose hair. It's an issue for me, and it's also a turnoff to 79% of partners polled. Plucking nose hairs is more painful than, say, watching Lions football for the last decade. Fortunately, for your nostrils, Manscaped has the perfect whacking tool, a 9,000 RPM motor, a 360-degree rotary dual-blade system to make whacking nose hairs easier than ever. It's water-resistant, so you can whack off in the shower without shame. You can actually whack off anywhere with the Weed Whacker. And the lithium-ion battery lasts for up to 90 minutes, ensuring you will always have enough juice to whack off those nose and ear hairs. So get 20% off plus free shipping if you use my link below, manscaped.com/goodsports. And why don't you be a good sport and let me help you whack off your unruly nose hair? The number one reason, the sole factor that shows me the Rams actually won this trade is the disproportionate amount of jersey swaps created for Matthew Stafford in comparison to Jared Goff. I had to ask for help on Twitter to find a single Jared Goff swapped in a Lions uniform. That alone says the Rams win, and they win big. And we may see more beating Goff than ever in a single NFL season now that Jared is on a rebuilding bad Lions team. He just left the best defense in the league for the worst. This is the first time that 2 first overall draft picks as players have been swapped since 1967, when the draft still meant you might be going to Vietnam. Now, I forget that the Rams traded up to draft Goff in the first place. It took 6 picks in a trade to get him, and it took 3 picks to get rid of him, making him the most costly quarterback in NFL history. Goff has accounted for 9 draft picks, 4 of which are first rounders. Good job, Jared. Okay, so Matthew Stafford traded to the Rams for a haul. A 2021 third-round pick, a 2022 first-round pick, and a 2023 first-round pick. And Stan Kroenke's mustache. The Rams, of course, couldn't offer a first-rounder for this draft because they don't have one, as that's what they gave up to acquire Jalen Ramsey. A move that proved to be great for the Rams. Now, I've been banging the drum like Keith Moon for the Broncos to make a play for Matthew Stafford, and I actually had Broncos fans telling me the 9th overall draft pick in 2021 was too much for Stafford. Many people are saying the Rams got fleeced and Goff got hosed, but the real victim is one John Wolford. He was about to compete and likely win the starting job for the Rams had Goff stayed. Matthew Stafford is no longer a Lion. No, 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 no. He's a wolf killer, just like Jamal Adams. Now, the biggest lesson here is the Rams severely overpaid for Jared Goff when they gave him that contract. I wish the Rams were my dad. No matter how much money I would ask for, they'd just give it to me and then regret it when I fucked up again and blew it all by buying Blockbuster stock because I confused it with GameStop. But then when I asked for more money, they obliged. Thanks, Ram Dad. The Rams paid too much money for Todd Gurley and Brandon Cooks in addition to Goff, and neither of those guys are currently on the Rams roster. The Lions will be on the hook for paying Goff $27 million this season and $25 million next season before they have an out on his contract, and his contract is the reason the Rams had to offer so much to acquire Stafford while packaging Goff in the deal, who actually is a decent quarterback in the trade. The joke this week, though, will be, the Rams are idiots. They have no first-round draft picks. The next time the Rams pick in the first round, Tom Brady won't be in the NFL. The last first-round pick they had was Jared Goff. Here's the thing. The Rams have been doing pretty good without first-round picks. Better than most teams with them in the NFL, and as long as you're trading away first-rounders for impact players like Jalen Ramsey, and you get picks back by dealing players you don't want anymore, it's not a bad strategy. There's no wrong way to build an NFL team. No, correct that. As long as you're the Texans, there's no wrong way to build an NFL team. This year, LA has 7 draft picks with 3 third-rounders. 1 might be going to the Lions. So LA can add some great talent right away if they draft well early. And if you're a perennially good team, giving up late first-round draft picks really isn't that big of a deal. The Rams' biggest sin, besides designing a logo that looks like a penis according to Eric Dickerson, and a guy with Dick in his last name would know, is overpaying for guys that don't pan out in the long run. As long as they have Sean McVay, though, I think they'll be all right. The real adjustment will be for fans, who now have to say there are 2 very good quarterbacks in LA, and not have to reference USC or UCLA. I truly believe Matthew Stafford, with the Rams defense, the best he will have ever had on his team, is about to look like an MVP level quarterback. Maybe not right away, but God, I am excited to see him with a true offensive mastermind on a team that has a top 5 defense. Just like in Detroit with Marvin Jones, Stafford has one of the most underrated receivers in the league with Robert Woods. Held 2 with Josh Reynolds, but Reynolds will be an unrestricted free agent, and the Rams are about $35 million over the cap right now, so they have some work to do. What does this all mean for the Lions, though? They definitely have the most testosterone at the head coach position.
We're going to get up, and on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off, all right? And when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you. Before long, we're going to be the last one standing.
And in the front office, with John Dorsey as their senior personnel executive, Detroit will now have at least 2 first-round draft picks in 2022 and 2023 as they try to build a competitive team from scratch. I'm not a huge John Dorsey fan, but there might be cause for optimism in Detroit. There is this crazy idea that Jared Goff never even plays a snap for the Lions. Dorsey was the guy who took Brock Osweiler off the books for the Texans with no plan of ever playing him. Don't be surprised if Detroit continues to pay part of Goff's contract but ships him to a QB-needy team for even more draft ammo. After all, you might accidentally win too many games with Jared Goff to build the way you want through the draft. My best guess, Jared Goff is shipped to, wait for it, the Houston Texans after Watson gets his trade demands met. Imagine how perfect that would be. That's why I wore my Brock Osweiler shirt today, to commemorate that stupid situation in Houston. Just something I feel like we will be saying for the next decade. Knowing that 2 firsts and a third and a player is the price for Stafford, Deshaun Watson's value has skyrocketed. I'd say at least 3 thirds, 2 seconds, a third, and a reserved home on Elon Musk's first Mars colony. I don't want Denver to have to give up that much to get Watson, but it's really nice to know that Broncos safety Kareem Jackson, former Texan, is lobbying to get Watson to the Mile High City. Now, is Stafford a significant upgrade over Jared Goff? I think so. He's fourth all-time in passing yards per game at 273.4, fourth in completions per game. He's also been in the league long enough where he's not going to be fooled by defenses. He throws fewer picks than Jared Goff. He throws more touchdowns than Jared Goff. And most importantly, Sean McVay believes in him. There were reports at the end of the season that all wasn't well between Goff and McVay. So even though he's going to Detroit, this might actually be great for Jared Goff to get a new change of scenery as well. My bold prediction, though, is that we see Matthew Stafford throw for 5,000 yards for the second time in his career with Sean McVay at the helm. Hell, Jared Goff had two 4,600-yard seasons in 2018 and 2019 with McVay. That's pretty damn good, but in 2019, he also had 16 picks and just 22 touchdowns. I think Sean McVay believes he should be getting top 5 quarterback numbers. Matthew Stafford, on a competent team, just might be a top 5 QB in the league. So, congratulations to the Rams for sneaking in and snaking a player nobody projected to land in LA because we all thought there was no way they would move that Goff contract. This trade will become official on March 17th, and I will officially be a Rams fan again, rooting for Stafford to get to the Super Bowl. Also, a Lions fan, rooting for Dan Campbell to show Jared Goff how to eat and not beat.
And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here to this YouTube channel. I've got preview episodes for the Bucks and the Chiefs already up right now. Make sure to check those out. It's on the screen. You can click it right now. So, yeah.